Okay, welcome back. This is Lowlands, episode 10. So last episode, we got started on our home. And as you see, we haven't really done much. We have just basically constructed the house, which gives us a chest inside, a workbench in which to use, and that's about it. So for our chest, what we can do is, as I'm not going to be gathering ore for very much, this is going to be 10 pounds that we can store that we can get later. I don't see anything here we need to store just yet. And I'm going to take some of these higher-ended potions and put them away. And then I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put away almost all of my alchemy ingredients. The only thing I plan to keep on hand is going to be salt. Just so I can go ahead and cook food when I get... Oops, I accidentally used that, which gives us a little bit of invisibility. Alright, so one of the things we will need here is a bed, as well as a cooking fire. Let's see what that's going to take. So if we go to furniture, the double bed takes 2 sawn logs. We have 2 nails, 4 leather strips, and 2 straw, which we don't have. The nails shouldn't be an issue. I believe I have everything I need to make that. The fire pit has a cooked in, and we just need a quarried stone. So let's step outside, go to our bin, and see what we can gather up. Alright, so we'll take a look at our chest, which last time we stored a bunch of different things. So we have 4 leather strips. To get more, we actually need to have leather. I don't know if we have any leather on hand. It would be in our miscellaneous, so we do not. So, to get leather, we have to get hide and use a tanning rack. There is not one here. I believe there is one over in Falkreath, which is the closest town we are. But if need be, I have enough gold left over from purchasing the property. I should be able to go ahead and just buy what I need. So what we're going to do first is we're going to hike back to Falkreath. And what this is going to do for us is so we can get to the shop. And what we need at the shop is going to be 2 things of straw, leather if we can find it, or leather strips if we can find it, and then we're gonna have to make the nails. So first thing we gotta do is we gotta hike back past Pine Watch and this bridge here. We also have a side mission to buy more lumber, which I'm going to try to do after I'm completed with the store, just so I have a bit more gold, because I believe it's 500 gold for 20 pieces of lumber.
It happened so fast. 1 minute the dragon was there, the next...
Now, let's check the map. It's telling me to go up here to buy the lumber, and I believe that is the lumber mill that is run by vampires, actually. But first we need to hit up these shops, because we're low on gold now. And you know what? It's 7:22. I'm not even sure the shop's gonna be open. So we might have to wait or rest. And you know what? We're gonna rest. I think I went the wrong way for the general shop anyway. Yeah, because that's the Jarl's Longhouse, blacksmith, tavern, and then this should be the general shop right here, which I'm pretty sure is closed now. Oh, you know what? We'll take the shot now.
Got something for just about everybody in here. Give a holler if you... Well met. Take a look.
Alright, so what we want to do first is buy everything we need. So now it's actually on sale. We need to go to his miscellaneous. We need 2 straw, which he has 20. We're only going to buy the 2 we need for right now. He doesn't appear to have any straight leather. He has a couple of hides that we could grab and use, but I'm not really looking to do that. So let's go ahead and we're going to sell off our amethyst to him, which takes almost all of his gold. And one's for 34. We'll go ahead and just take it for the 30, so we have 1,000 gold to work with.
I used to be an adventurer like you.
Alright. And then we're going to go ahead and see if we have the bed still. If we have the bed still, we'll just go ahead and rest. If not,
Come on in. Let me know if you need.
What can I do for you?
Take a seat by the fire.
You're going
and
to
I'll
have
send
the men
someone
around
over.
here wrapped around your finger in no time.
alright, we do have it. So we're going to go ahead and sleep for 12 hours. And this is going to put us about 15 minutes before the shops open in World. But it'll get rid of all of that and allow us to eat. So we're going to go ahead and eat. As soon as I can find my food. Alright, so that takes care of that. Go ahead and pop up out of here, and we're going to be looking for the blacksmith, who will probably have leather strips for us.
was once full of wanderers and warriors like yourself.
Oh, and actually, yeah, we have a couple of tanning racks available here that, if we had the hides, we could just go ahead and use, which we could probably get if we wander around and find a couple of wolves.
Is a fine place to be, boy.
As I said, we're waiting for that 8 o'clock time for the shops to open up. Alright, he's stepped out. We should be able to talk to him now and get access to his shop.
Steel's good. Blades.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and
Pretty much
buy
anything to
some
suit
leather
your
strips
needs.
from him. And you know what? We're just going to buy everything he's got. We probably shouldn't have, but I'm not overly concerned with it right now.
See me at my forge if you need arms.
Alright, so the next place we're going to head to is we're going to go ahead and head to the lumber mill that we have flagged.
Disrespect the law and you disrespect.
As of right now, we have everything we need. There is a lumber mill here, I believe. Yeah, that we can do. We might be able to do. I just got to see if I can talk to the gentleman who owns it. I sometimes find that the game gets confused. I guess is the best way to put it. And the guy that you would buy lumber from here won't always be here.
That Valga
And we found him.
doing some building, eh? We
Yeah.
can
Oh,
deliver
200 gold. So we actually was 300 less than I thought. We're gonna buy 2 sets
doing
then.
some building, eh? I'll have them hauled over right away.
Alright, so now we got 40 additional logs to work with what we're gonna be doing. Now that we don't need to do that, we can actually just head back to Lakeview Manor, get our iron out of our chest that's there, and go ahead and build what we need to.
Stuck in sticks with this crazy old man.
Now, with this being survival mode and us not having access to fast travel, we're going to be seeing this road a lot, going back and forth between Lakeview and Falkreath when we need to buy things. That is going to change when we get a steward that we can put there, and the steward can be any, I believe, any follower that you can get. I'm fairly certain that's accurate. So when you get access to Lydia as a housecarl for becoming Thane of Whiterun, you can use her for a steward if you bring her here. I think some of the ones that you can't use would be Serena from the Dawnguard DLC. And anybody that's kind of a key person. So we're going to pull out the one quarried stone that we need for our one bit inside. We're going to grab one iron ingot, make some nails. And I think I just sent my book miscellaneously flying across the area here. Yeah, no, it landed right next to my fertile soil here. Let's see if I can grab it. It looks like the fertile soil is going to be right there. Oh, wait, maybe. Alright, we got it. So we're going to go ahead and just stick that back up on here. We won't really use the Beginner's Guide to Homesteading because I already know what I'm doing for the most part. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure we have our bed. And we want to make sure that we have our fire pit. Oh, excuse me. So now that we have a fire pit, we have a little bit of light in here, and we now have a bed to sleep in. So now we can cook whenever we need to. And we can sleep whenever we need to when we're in this area without having to buy a place to stay. I don't know, let's see if there's anything we need to put away. Anything here that might be heavy. You know what? Most of this stuff is actually either to be sold or is crafting. And I'm thinking I'm going to stick all the crafting stuff that we're going to be using out here, because most of our crafting is out here right now. So we want to go in here. We want to put away the leather strips, the nails, and that's pretty much going to be it for right now there. Now I want to look at the carpenter's workbench because there's something else I need to get built, and it is actually going to be the smelter, and for that we're going to need a bit more iron. I have the clay and quarried stone already. I just need to have enough iron to make 2 iron fittings and have iron ingots left over. And this will allow me to actually smelt ore without having to find a specific place to do that. So, for the 2 iron fittings, if we go to our anvil here, down to building materials, iron fitting is 1 iron ingot a piece, and we're only going to get 1. So, to get the 2 that we need and have 5 left over, we'll need a total of 7 iron ingots. We have 1. So, my choices are I could harvest iron here and go smelt it, go hit up a couple of iron mines, or I could just go buy the iron ingots from a blacksmith. Gold-wise, we're sitting at a little less than we started with after buying the property, which I can easily make up with the gems that I have by selling them to general vendors or vendors that will buy gems from me. Right now, there's not a whole lot we can do in that regard. So we've got a place to sleep, a place to get food without having to hunt it down. We'll know exactly where to go. The problem is if we're in this area, and what I'm concerned about is with Falkreath being right there as our primary residential town, and we don't have any way to really get around from Falkreath, as far as I know. I believe we can hire a carriage driver via the steward, which we don't have a follower yet to do that with. So, I think what I'm going to do now is we're going to look to... Okay, that was strange. We're going to look to doing something. Either... we can go to Helgen, do the bits for Live Another Life there, where we can investigate and get kind of started on the main quest line. Or, I can look for something more to do. Clear out a random dungeon, get some loot. I think I am going to go ahead and head up to Helgen, because I very much would like to get that done. And at least get some progress to the main storyline done. And here we have Maik the Liar again.
Maik gives many stories of war, yet few of them are true.
So if you're coming from Falkreath and Lakeview Manor to go to Helgen, and you haven't done the main story yet, you pretty much just follow this road straight east and up into the mountain there a little bit, and you're gonna run right smack dab into Helgen. What I wanted to show you guys a couple of before I had the technical issues that I did was that if you take this path and wrap around this hill here, you will actually go and come out relatively close to the cave entrance for Helgen. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and kind of walk over this way. I want to show you this entryway because you're going to be using it to get the Blackbriar Mead. You need to start the acquiring factor of getting Lakeview Manor. And so if you just come in here, I will bring you up to where you can find the bottle of Blackbriar Mead in the cave here. So now that we've come up here, as you can see, we don't have a bear to deal with, but Hadvar and Roloff are both still in here, and we can talk to them and give them a potion. Now, when you would normally come into this area, you'll come from right over here, and you'll walk across the platform here to this cart where whoever you followed from the vanilla start will actually stop you and go, oh well, look, there's a bear, and it will kind of teach you how to sneak by it, or you can just run up and start bashing on it. Either one really works. So in here you'll find several bits of Elto wine and a coin purse. Now if you go next to this iron helmet and the lantern, the Blackbriar Mead will be right around here. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to leave the cave the way you're supposed to leave the cave, and then head up into Helgen and get the discovery location and get started on the investigation. As we did get to see the dragonfly overhead in the last episode, actually I don't think you guys got to see that with the technical difficulties. I wasn't able to record that part, and it caused us a little bit of grief. So we'll head to the road over here and start heading up to Helgen Keep. We are going to want to eat something because we are going to have to most likely fight some bandits that are going to be up here. A little bit of spoil here, so beware of that. If you haven't come back to Helgen after the dragon attack, all the fire is put out, but the place will be overrun with bandits who have moved in since you were last here. It looks like we might have got lucky in that they are indeed not here. So pretty much what they want you to do is they want you to look for clues. Now, I don't remember exactly how they start, and it might just be that I don't have it active, so let's try that. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. So I didn't have the quest active. So if you come over here, there'll be a burnt out corpse that's been added to the map. And so when you activate it, you won't give you a loot option. It'll just activate the corpse will disappear, and you'll get a journal in which they want you to read it. So we'll go ahead and read that under Books, Adventurer's Journal. We'll go ahead and open that up. Contains several undated entries. First entry, hard to believe I filled up that whole journal already. Never realized how much of Cyrodiil I hadn't seen yet. So much diversity, yet so much destruction from the Great War. A lot of history has been lost here forever. The expedition is ending soon, and everyone will be returned home. I have one last task before I do the same. I'll send the other journals ahead with my supplies and the artifacts we recovered. Second entry. I've received word from my contacts in Skyrim. All seems quiet for now, probably for the first time since High King Torag was killed. I should be able to make the crossing quietly enough during the night, so long as there are no Imperial patrols to deal with. Third entry. So much for being discreet. I crossed the border near a small village called Helgen and made my way up to Darkwater Crossing. Unfortunately, I can't get back to my camp now because the area is filled with Imperial patrols. It seems they are searching for someone very important. If I'm not mistaken, someone they intend to ambush here. This could be the very thing I am seeking here in Skyrim, but crossing the border in the dead of night without passing through the checkpoints has turned out to be a very bad plan. Fourth entry. I woke early this morning with an Imperial sword pressed to my neck. Patrol found me camped under a rock outcropping on the edge of the volcanic marshes. I guess I wasn't as well hidden as I thought. I have no idea where they are taking us, but I've been stuffed in the back of a rickety old cart, being pulled by an even more rickety-looking old nag. At least they let me keep my journal for now. Fifth entry. Shore's bones. If I only known sooner. The ambush, the captives in the cart with me, Stormcloak rebels, led by none other than Ulfric Stormcloak himself. There's no time to explain properly. I scarcely believe it myself. If it hadn't been for the dragon, I'd not even be here to write this down. Yes, a dragon, big, black, as large as the two towers of the keep itself. It swooped in out of nowhere and laid waste to the village and the keep. General Tullius didn't take my head today, or the heads of several Stormcloak rebels, but that doesn't matter now. Hadron and Ralof set aside their difference to help the survivors. They went into the lower keep hours ago. Something about caves with a back entrance. I don't think they're coming back. I'll have to see if I can get out of the city and down to Riverwood. Someone needs to warn them. This building won't remain standing for much longer. I still can't believe it. A dragon, straight out of the legends. Nobody back home will ever believe me. So this kind of gives a bit of a more detailed story about how you end up in the cart for the vanilla start by posing as somebody else. So now we have two options. And it did not register that we read the journal. Okay, so that is clearly bugged. Okay, so once you read that, it'll actually tell you to go warn Riverwood or investigate the cave, in which you would then start like you had started a vanilla playthrough. Right now, that seems to be an issue. Apparently, the quest is not progressing for me, so I think a reload will probably be in order. So I'm going to hold off on that. Now, I know this has been kind of a quiet episode. We haven't really done much other than make a trip to town to get our stuff. And pop into the cave so I could show you where to find that blackberry meat to start the Fall Creek bit there. Now, we can already start heading towards town. There's one pit stop I'm going to make on our way down here. And there is a reason for it. So when you come down here, you're going to come to a cross section here. Well, that's an interesting thing to find. Alright, so you're going to take a left here. Now, up to the left, I want to say... I may be on the wrong road, possibly. I think I am. What I am looking for is a camp. There will be a camp of bandits along the road. Now, I believe I took a wrong turn, and that's what ended up confusing me. Okay, I think that's a hunter. Alright, and this is the path that goes up to the cave. And I thought it was between... Yep, there it is. Okay, it was between that. So we got a couple of bandits here to kill. And we definitely want to kill these bandits. Alright, and the reason we want to kill these bandits is one of them will have, boom, a treasure map number 1 for a treasure hidden near Riverwood. Now, in the last few minutes that I've got left of recording, I'm going to go ahead and run down to where this treasure is. Yep, that's something we can read to get one-handed. We're not using one-handed, so it's kind of pointless, but you know what? We'll take it because it will advance us towards getting another level in which we'll get another couple of perk points and be able to get a little more health and stamina. So what I want you guys to do is when you pick up this map, I'm not even going to look at it because I know where it is. We're going to swing off and grab the standing stones. And I'm going to go ahead and activate the warrior stone to increase our warrior skills 20% faster. And then we're going to keep going down the road here. Generally, there is at least a wolf along this road that attacks us. But I may have already killed it at one point or time or another. So it might not be here, but it might. Alright, so when you get to about this point, where you can cross the river, and you're going to see here in a second, because I'm going to point it out as we get further along the road here. There's going to be a giant log up, you should see it north of me here, just nestled right about there, in between the trees, and that's where we're going to want to go. But we're going to swing over this way, and we're going to grab this Nern root on the way. And so when you pick up this treasure map 1, it'll be this giant log right here. And so if you look at your map, you're right about here. Riverwood's right along up this way. We're across the water here. And this is where treasure map 1 is. So most of this, we're going to take all of that because I can make use of it some way somehow. So we're going to head back across the water here, and we're going to head down a little ways up behind the lumber mill here because it's less swimming. And we're actually going to pop into the general store here which is going to kind of introduce us to a side quest that we'll be able to do that is right on top of doing a main quest.
I said no. No adventures, no theatrics, no thief chasing.
Well, what are you going to do then, huh? Let's hear it.
We are done talking about this.
He is
A customer. Sorry you had to hear that.
just telling her not to go after the thieves that apparently have taken their prized golden claw, which you will be getting back.
The Riverwood Trader is everything
But
you
we're not
think
going to
it's
proc it
odds
just
and
yet because
ends,
we're not going to be heading up
sort of
that way.
thing.
We actually just want to take all of his money. So we want to sell all of our garnets that we can, knocking down to 612, and then I'll leave him with 23 gold. I don't believe he has anything we're really interested in buying. Yeah, not really. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back later and pick that up after we get the main quest progressed to where we have to warn the people of Riverwood that there was a dragon attack. Now, I will be working on this between episodes to make sure I can get it. As of right now, this is where I'm going to end the episode. As always, thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good day.